Good evening, hello, and welcome. My name is Inbaal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I teach tarot. I'm here on the Bigfoot Outlaw Network, and sorry, I'm trying to sort out my screen so that it shows a little bit of the screen behind, but I can't manage to do that. Sorry, which is why I vanished. Oh, I'm going to be on just a half now. No, it's not really working. Right, let me give up. Give up early. I am here on the Bigfoot Outlaw Network. We are broadcasting right now on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Instagram, right, for your viewing pleasure. I've got a game for us to play, but I'm first going to explain how the screen works, what we're looking at. So we're going to be live for about an hour. If you're watching us live, you can interact with me by using whatever messaging system you have on the app you're using. And so, for example, from YouTube, Mark sent a message to say, good evening, one and all. Good evening, Inbaal. Hope that you guys are all okay. Love as always. Thank you. And thank you for checking in on me yesterday. Hello, everyone else. Please remember to like and subscribe. We are ready to learn Inbaal style. So if you're on YouTube and you send a message, I'll be able to see it over here on my screen and add it to our joint screen that we're watching. Unfortunately, on Instagram, it's not working the same way, but I can kind of sort of check in on you. So wherever you send the message from, I'll be able to see it. The vast majority of messages will make it to screen. Really, your message has got to be extremely outrageous not to make it to screen. Rob is saying hellos. Mark is sharing how tired he is. I don't know why. I know I'm a little bit shattered. I had a dream last night. It was like a long dream about the dishwasher. And I feel like really the dream gods have done me dirty to give me just such a long and exciting dream, you know, about that. Kim is here. Hi, Kim. And Tor has made it. Hi, Tor. Sorry, Tor. I forgot to, well, I haven't had a chance to say hi to Rob from you. And Rob is wondering, Mark, how come your name is showing up like that? So yeah, you've got, I don't know if you re-registered or if it's just sort of showing differently, although Sandy's name is showing differently as well. Sandy saying, hello and bow and blessings to all in this spooky time of year. So actually there might be some changes in the system that I didn't know about because as you saw in the beginning, I was trying to put make my broadcast screen a little smaller so that you can see my usual background. I haven't been able to, so it looks like some of the registered names have changed a little bit. Look, Lucianne has got a very undignified name where everything is sort of squeezed together with numbers on the end saying, hello, lovely people. Mark is not happy with how his name is showing in the screen. It says, outrageous. I don't know. So just to finish introducing the show, if you're watching us live, you can get involved. If you're not watching us live, if you're listening to us or watching us later on any of the streaming networks, on any of the podcasting networks, then make sure you find us and subscribe to us. My name is Inbaal. If you search for Inbaal Psychic, you will likely find me. My Facebook is Inbaal Psychic. My YouTube is Inbaal Psychic. My Instagram is Inbaal Psychic. The name of the channel, as you can see, is Bigfoot Outlaw. The YouTube channel, there's a Twitch, there's a LinkedIn. So if you subscribe, you will never miss a show again. Mark and Lucianne and everybody are chatting to each other in the comments. So let me introduce the name. the game that I thought would be fun for us to play. I thought I wanted to talk about colors. And I love talking about colors, and I love the combination of colors and the tarot. And obviously, I love the combination of colors and magic when you're manifesting things. I know a lot of you are into your manifesting, so colors is, one of the important elements of it. Lucian is saying, "How are you all? I'm on the way up." And Mark is also still alive. Very exciting. Very, very good to hear that you guys are doing okay. So I love my colors. And we've done a couple of shows going through the different colors and what they mean. But what I thought would be fun this time is to go through people's favorite color, either your favorite color or somebody else that you know, if you want to know about them, their favorite color. And I will pull out, not psychically, but just like visibly, visually, physically, the cards that have that color as a prominent color to see what what cards relate to what color. I hope that made sense. So many decks don't suit this game. The Rider-Waite-Smith has only got about 4 main colors, not suitable. The Marseille deck hasn't got that many colors going on, not very suitable. Even very, very gorgeous, stunning decks like this one that I got from the Witch of the Forest. Well, I didn't get it from her. I got it from my friend. But the colors are kind of, I don't want to say limited in a negative way, but it's not like the full palette. So for the purpose of this fun game, I've got the Thoth, which I think is a wonderfully colorful deck. And I pulled out of hibernation my beloved deck of the Zen Osho cards. That might not be for everybody, but I adore this deck with every fiber of my being. I find the paintings just speak the language of my soul, and is very, very good on colors. So those are the 2 decks I pulled out. I didn't dig, to be fair, I didn't dig very, very deep into my box here, but here is the Marseille deck, gorgeous as it is not really right for this game. This one is Vintage Pam, such a gorgeous deck. It's Rider-Waite-Smith, but with a vintage flair, but again, not very colorful. I've got this one up top, not very colorful. And, I'm not even that much of a collector, so most of the other stuff I've got, it doesn't suit the game. So we've got Thoth, we've got Zen, and I think we've got some people kicking it off. So let's do it. Amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. So just I don't want to miss any messages. So Luciane says jolly good. Mark says brill news. Rob says, oh Mark, there's so many nasties out there at the moment. Oh yeah, it's true. If you're tired, it really could be a bug. And Rob says, I'm in almost full recovery besides a slight snotty nose. Hopefully we can kick that snotty nose out of you with a little bit of joy and magic. So Tor says, my fave color is green and Dylan's is orange. That is quite exciting because they're both like, what do you call them? Like secondary colors. Primary, secondary, triary. And I think we have a green somewhere further down. There we go. And Luciane also says my favorite color is green. Oh, and Rob says mine is also green. So amazing, amazing. And Luciane says, ooh, color is one of my favorite topics. And then Kim says, my favorite color is aqua. So we're going to go with green, which is quite a few of you. We're going to do orange, which is actually sort of quite a hot, exciting color, especially in the thoth. And then we're going to find some aqua, which I think we don't have loads of in the thoth. The pale blue is sort of more of a regular pale blue, but I do think we have lots of interesting watery colors in the Zen Osho. So let's start with some greens. So I'm going through the thoth. We've got greens in a lot of the financial cards, but interestingly, there's actually quite a lot of green in the swords. So we're going to pull out a few. I'm already putting some oranges to the side for Dylan. Oh, and we've got a lovely bit of aqua there. And I think all of you are going to find your way into enjoying the art card, which is equivalent to... Why am I stuck? Is it equivalent to temperance? Right, we've got the art card there with loads of colors. But yeah, let me go through the thoth. We've got lots of oranges. We'll have quite a few green and pinks together in the more feminine cards. A lot of freedom in the green, a lot of potential in the green, a lot of thinking. Yeah, there's a lot more green than I thought there would be. I thought the orange would be a big pile, but actually we have a lot going on with the green. And you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to be sort of doing the next read. I say tomorrow. In 46 minutes, I'm going to be doing my next reading. I'll be like, isn't it funny that loads of cards of the same kind of color are showing up? Right, this should do us. I've gone through half the pack, and, you know, we have a lot of greens going on. Oh, I don't want to leave any of the greens behind because they're so good. More oranges, more greens. No, that's more like aqua. Okay, I want to have a little show of hands. Who's going to enjoy this game more than anybody? Me. I'm sorry. It's me. I play the games that are so fun for me when you're here with me. Right. These don't belong. Right. Greens. For green, we had Rob, Tor, Luciane. So let me pull out. We have like some different groupings of greens. So we have a lot of greens going on in the swords because they're air, and green is air. And so this brings up for you a lot of thinking, maybe quite a bit of overthinking. There's a good element of communication there. Even though communication is blue, there's something about this greenish tarot grouping that's like telepathic, that is like knowledge. You just know. And when you know too much, that's also there. This might be a very grayish black card, but it has the swords in green. So we've got this group of greeny swords, right? Beautiful, isn't it? And then we've got, standing almost on its own, the greeniness of Sikhi, feeling too much, taking on too much. So does that apply to you guys? And obviously we have quite a lot of green there, the green of decay in the death cards. Then we've got a few financial green cards. Wait, I'm looking. I've got one more. There we go. So we've got quite a lot of green going on, mostly in the background of finances. So here we've got the kind of fruitfulness, abundance of the color green. And like I said, the green together with the pink, where she is, the green together with the pink. I had her. The green together with the pink are like a femininity, fertility, love. And then we've got a couple of romantic cards with the green, and that I think is like the healing aspect, when love can be healing. You know, love can take everything away from you, but it can also give you everything. And finally, we have some spectacular greens in some of the most colorful major arcana. Now, this is really for you, Rob. I know that the colorfulness of the very sort of vibrant, over the top major arcana is not quite your thing, but focus on the greeniness in it. So here we have the body of Anubis in green. Here we have the background of the universe in green. Here we have the outer circles and also the mountain in green in the sun. And then we've got the outfit of both the Fool and Art in green. And what these are, they're like a support system for growth. What green shows me in all of these, right? I don't know if they mean something different to you. And before I move on to the next color, I will see if there's any feedback on the green. I want so badly for you guys to get excited about the same kind of things that I'm excited about. But I feel like the green there is basically the fertile ground for change to happen. In none of these, green is the actual change maker. It's maybe secondary, but green is like the straw that allows you to suck up the life force and, you know, and engage that in creativity. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm putting a little star here so that I can find this one again. Scroll down and see what is going on with the green. Ooh, we have some good news from Luciane, who says, as long as I'm fully recovered, I'm happy to make an appearance. Mwah, I can't wait to have you on again. So Taurus says, I'm in a green outfit, green disco shirt. Does this make me a fool? Yeah, in the best possible way. Sandy says, green means go, go. Absolutely. So the color green, like in general, in culture, is a very busy color. There's a lot of heavy lifting. We have green means go. We have green as the color of money. We have green with envy. So it is a very hardworking color. Let me scroll up. Green outfit. Oh, love that. So Luciane reminds us that green, pink is the heart chakra colors, right? So the combination of green and pink is for good reason. Let's see what else we were saying about the green. Scroll. Taurus, does that apply to you guys? No comment. I'll take it. No comment. Sabrina, saying, what game are we playing? You know it. You could see me all excited. You knew that there was a game going on. I'm hoping not to skip anybody, but I'm trying to relate the messages to the color that we've just done. So Taurus says, pink is my second fave, often wear both together. So that's interesting. Yeah, pink is such an awesome color. And Rob goes, oh, Soar is my fave. I love the misery. I feel to burst into Only Happy When It Rains by Garbage. Yeah, good tune of that time. Beautiful. Oh, did Francesca used to use the Zen Art Show? That is very embarrassing that I don't remember that. Right, amazing. So that was us doing a little bit of green. Now, oops. Now let's have a little look at some of the orange cards. So that is for Dylan. Hi, Dylan. And we have to start the orange with some really bombastic cards. So with the green, we kind of ended on the bombastic. Here we want to start with boom, the Tower. Boom, Lust, equivalent to strength, if anyone's watching. And then a lot of the wands are orange as well. So here we have the wands quartz. I don't know why I've got only 3 of the wands quartz, because all of them are very, very orange. And here they signify action, fearlessness, courage. All the oranges are really sort of mixed with red, obviously, because red is, you know, one of the ingredients of orange. In the sun, we have a lot of orange as well. But in general, we have orange wands. And here, because actions, we've also got a few joyful orange cups. Some joyful, some not so joyful. And there's something about orange that is sort of very overflowing with delight, but unlike the green that was overflowing and started decaying, the orange can overflow quite safely, quite happily. The orange is overflowing, and that's all he's got to say about it. Thank you very much. And then we've got, interestingly, orange in one of the most stable cards, which is the 4 of discs, the 4 of pentacles. So I think that is fascinating. And then we said we're going to do aqua for Kim. So in terms of aqua, like I pulled out the ones that have different shades of blue. This one struck me as the one that we can perhaps most comfortably relate to aqua. It's the star. It has loads of different purpley blues going on. In aqua, we're looking more for the greenish blues, aren't we? So here we've got the Hanged Man, right? So here we have some hints of aqua, and we've got the Priestess with some undeniable hints of aqua. And those are very still. They're very still, they're very calm, they're very soothing. They find their healing from not moving too much. They find their healing from vibes, as does this card, the Two of Swords, which has like an aqua lotus flower in the middle. But here I wanted to turn to the Zen Osho deck that has even more of a rich palette. And here we've got the Dream. This is equivalent to the 6 of Cups, but really the Zen Osho deck is so individual that relating it to the plain, bland, ordinary, everyday meanings of the cards is just dragging it down. So just sort of think of it as the Dream card. So here we've got this kind of fantasy romance going on. So that's got a bit of aqua going on. What did I see before? We've got Completion, which is actually the World. And that's kind of a card of getting to enlightenment, achieving enlightenment, finding all your missing pieces. So that's got aqua there as well. I hope you love it, Kim. And the one I showed you before, oh, it's one of my absolute favorites. I adore this card. It's Receptivity, and it's one of the Cups court cards, but don't really know which one, because I never sort of sat down to learn which which triangle was which triangle, which makes it sound like I sort of just jumped into using the Zen because it was there in my box, but it was actually my primary deck for about 2 or 3 years. Got a bit of aqua going on there in silence. This is 17, which makes it temperance again. Why am I sticking on temperance? Let me see if we've got any more prominent aqua before we jump out. Oh, there we go. Going with the flow. Isn't it beautiful? So this is the Ace of Cups, and it is not just aqua, it is water. So yeah, so we've got a few colors to look at. My screen is looking a little funky, so let me just see if I can, yeah, there we go. I unfunkied it. So let's see if we've got any feedback. Was there a number to the silence card? Yes. Let me look again what silence was. So this is Zen, Osho, and silence was one of the, was that one of the cups chords? I don't want to speak before. No, that was receptivity, going with the flow. Silence, 17, XVI. If you want to screenshot it quickly so that you can see it later. It's obviously a gorgeous card for meditation. I would use it for dream work, just to have by the side of your bed to allow peacefulness. Maybe if you live somewhere noisy. Oh, Kim says 17 is my number, my birthday. And she says 17 is everything to me. Well, that's very exciting. It's almost as if there's magic in the cards. And Crystal says there's a very beautiful cards. They're absolutely wonderful. They're very, very magical. Let's see if there's any. Oh, there we go. So Kim also says, so Kim is the one that picked aqua, which is what we were looking for now. Says the dream, that's so me. I have such vivid dreams every night. You have no idea. I get numbers and things that are about to happen. I love that. Crystal, you get dreams as well, don't you? So Kim and Crystal are little princesses. And in response to the orange, Crystal says, I do love the color of orange. It makes me happy whenever I see it. It makes me think of energy from the sun and the horizon, both sunrise and sunset to me, meaning that there are new beginnings and endings. I love that you included endings in that, because I know it's very easy to get people on board with new beginnings. But endings are amazing too, because endings are necessary to bring in new starts. And if you can see the balance of that, you're never going to have you're never going to have a nasty surprise. And Kim also said the priestess, the most intuitive. That is exactly it. So I love that you could relate to all the aqua colors. See, that just shows me how magical the tarot is. And in response to the orange, Tor says, that's Dylan, sunny, stable, and courageous. Absolutely. Let's see if I missed anything. Ooh. Lucianne said, I've just been looking at pink chandeliers online. So beautiful. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Sabrina's telling Mom, when I was younger, I would dye my hair the darkest brown so it can look black. I still wear a lot of black with a splash of other colors. I know, just like the smallest splash. I think we have very much the same idea of style. Dor says bombastic is such a good word. Thank you. I pride myself on the bombastic of my words. Rob says, I just looked in the mirror and brewed and wearing a shirt that's watercolor flowers of orange, pink, blue, and green. How beautiful. Because I'm reading the messages kind of out of order, I may miss some. Sabrina says black is my daily color. Let me just make sure that I haven't missed other people's colors before. Oh, wait. You say my favorite color is blue. Let's do blue first because I think that's sort of, well, easier to find. But I'm just sort of scrolling up. Sorry if that's all a little bit awkward. I'm scrolling up to make sure that I have not left anything behind. Oh, I never greeted Colleen. Hello, here to listen and learn, says Colleen. Sabrina said hola. Sorry, I put your messages back to front. Oh, so Crystal says green and dark fuchsia. So I'll see if there is anything of the pink. And Sandy says black. So we're looking for black, blue, and fuchsia. And also, Rob is asking, can you paint with all the colors of the wind? The other day, I don't even remember why I pulled up that song in Hebrew, which it's still very, very good. In like Disney in different languages, very exciting. And yeah, I was listening to it twice. I was crying. Such a great song. Right, let's find, yeah, I think I've got everybody's. So we're looking for black for Sandy and a little bit for Sabrina. We're looking for blue for Sabrina and a bit of fuchsia also for Crystal as a secondary color. And I think we're all going to enjoy the fuchsia. So first of all, with the black, in the Thoth, we don't have an awful lot of black. We have like the Three of Swords that has a black background. We have the Seven of Discs that has a black background. But I'm going to show you a card in the Zen Osho that if you like the color black, it's going to blow you away. Let me just find it. It'll be worth the wait. And if I can find some fuchsia in the meantime. And there we go. Sandy, are you ready? Look at this. Oh, look. Have you ever seen a blacker card? Look at this. Could it be any blacker? This could be none the more black. This is the no-thingness card, the nothingness card, and it is the card of potential. This is the board that you can draw anything on, and it's equivalent to the Hierophant card because you can learn whatever you want to learn, and you can qualify in whatever you want to qualify, and you will become that. There's something gorgeous about this card. It's very much like if you enjoy the runes and you know the blank rune. That's obviously sort of not one of the traditional runes, but very much a sort of a modern part of the rune of rune readings, of like, Western rather than traditional. But the blank rune and this very, very super black card both represent that you can go in whatever direction you want. And just to look at other cards that are prominently black, we've got this basically Ace of Swords. It's the consciousness card, and again here black represents potential. It's always darkest before sunrise. You can choose what you want to be. And we have a lot of black here in aloneness, which is the Hermit. So this is darkness, it's nighttime. We can go back both to the Silence card, has a lot of blue, but it has black in it. And of course, the 79th card in this deck, which is the Master. This is Osho himself. He obviously didn't create the deck because dead, but his disciples created the deck. So this is, a way to honor him, and the choice of the color black and the way that it relates to potential, again, is absolutely inspirational. It's beautiful. Now, let's look at a few blues here. And of course, blue is such a rich color when it comes to symbolism of sky, sea. We saw quite a bit of water already. We also have blue. Let me say what the cards are. So here, this incredible vision of the sky is number one, the magician. Look how gorgeous it is. She's creating her whole world just by sitting there in nature and looking at the stars. She's wishing on them. Look at the shooting star. She's manifesting her future. I love that. So this is for you, Sabrina, and any other blue babies. And here we have the 10 of Cups. It's not really like any 10 of Cups you've seen anywhere else. But here we have the meditation, the inner work, and then equivalent to that, we've got the transformation card here with a lot of blue going on. And again, it's meditation. It's sort of looking at the infinite, endless possibilities. And we have number 2, inner voice here with a lot of blue going on. Absolute gorgeous card. And that is the priestess. Now, we looked at quite a lot of blue for Kim when we looked at aqua, but it's worth repeating. Blue here in the star. We have lovely, vibrant blue in the background of the magus, the magician. Blue is a color that we see in practically all decks because it is, one of the, I suppose, most popular colors. I don't know if it was just easier to print. But what we have with blue is kind of a familiar color. The sea, the sky, good color for meditation. The cups court cards are obviously very blue, and adjustment here, which is equivalent to justice. So we've got that with the blue. And then I didn't think we'd do too well on the fuchsia, but of course, the Zen Osho is quite linked with images from Indian myths and mysticism. So we do have at least a little bit of fuchsia, usually involved with others, but we'll take what we can get. So this is for you, Crystal. The most exciting fuchsia I found, even though you said dark fuchsia, but I think you're going to love this. So we have flowering here. It's a court card. I'm not even going to pretend I know which one it is. I think it's one of the earth, but I don't want to say for sure. And what we have here is an earth mother sitting and meditating on a gorgeous, huge lotus flower. Another fuchsia flower is here in creativity. Of course, the Empress. And here in, I would say, a fairly obvious 3 of Cups, we've got celebration. We've got one of them wearing fuchsia, I would say. Is it like fuchsia, lavender, and I don't know, another blue color. What do you call it? Corn. Oh, what's the name of that powdery blue color? But yeah, you know what I mean. And then we've got a teeny tiny bit of dark fuchsia kind of going on here in the integration card, which is 14. What is 14? After death, before the tower, before the devil. Is it art again? Is it temperance? So yeah, maybe temperance. So we've got a little bit of fuchsia going on there. And what that fuchsia seems to suggest to me is femininity, like how pink kind of showed together with the green when we looked at the thoth. So we've got a few lovely colors there. I'm going to scroll and see what your thoughts are about those gorgeous cards and gorgeous colors. So again, I'm scrolling all the way down. Don't feel like I missed you. Oh, there's a lot. I have to go back to work, says Sabrina. She's watching from work. Love playing the game. Have a lovely week, everyone. And Rob is calling me to filth. The fact you are struggling with temperance cards right now means you need to get yourself balanced because you are out of whack. I'm so badly out of whack that if whack stood here in the room with me, I would not even recognize it. I am the greatest distance out of whack that a human being could be. You are exactly accurate with that. Mark is saying keep safe to Sabrina and saying welcome yesterday. Make sure you knew I cared. Thank you. It's really, really, you have no idea how important it is. It really means the world. Rob says cornflower blue. Yes, you got it. Luciane says indigo. Yeah, I think it may actually have been indigo. But yeah, in my mind, I had that cornflower. Sabrina says meditation and inner voice, absolutely stunning, amazing. And Crystal says rainbow colors mixed together is black. I told my grandson that. He brought me a painting with a big black rainbow. Asked what this is. He said it's a rainbow. I didn't have all the colors. So interestingly, when you have like a whole rainbow and you spin it, like you spin it as fast as it can go, it's actually white. All the colors, all the light of all the colors together adds up to white. Black is a lack of color, hence potential, and white is all the colors together. It's a wonderful experiment. I urge you to not do the experiment yourself, but actually seek out a YouTube video of somebody else doing the experiment. But it's, it's incredible. It's spectacular. Mark says, Luciane, I've hated it since I saw the first version of it. I would love to know what we're hating today. Luciane says a magical full card there. It really is. I love that card. Endless possibilities, says Sabrina. And she says to Rob, same here. Purple is color of royalty. Purple is my favorite color. I love it. Mark says, Sabrina, a lot of us are born in February, but don't tell. It's a secret. I know Aquarians are very good at keeping secrets. Luciane says, Mark, I think that's that it's a clown face, full stop. I'm going backwards, so I don't know what we're talking about. But Rob says, Sabrina, I'm not sure about the other countries, but in England, the color purple was the color of royalty. The Tudor queens would often be seen in purple with purple jewels to showcase their majesty. That is true. And I believe that it was because the color purple was the most expensive or the hardest dye to obtain. So if you had anything in purple, it showed that you were very, very wealthy. Luciane says, Mark, a weird mixture. Luciane says, Spinal Tap album. I completely forgot I made that joke. And Sabrina says, I find comfort in purple. It's my mom and daughter color. We're both born in February. Yeah, good people. Um, can you paint with all the colors of the rainbow? Ooh, there we go. Right. So this is where we're starting. Are there any colors that make anyone uncomfortable? So, Mark, were you saying that purple made you uncomfortable? Which I think is, is very interesting because if like poshness, makes you uncomfortable, that makes sense. Crystal says, yes, my dreams are very vivid and usually on point. I follow my dreams and I trust spirit above all. That's it. I thought you and Kim have that in common. I love that. I really, really adore people that are just like naturally psychic, without having to read anything or shuffle anything. It just comes. Rob says, orange. I find a nice calming color, though you would think energetic. Makes me think of Buddhist monks in their saffron robes. We must have some saffron here. Right, so we have like, nobody said yellow. We have, I suppose, a bit of saffron in this very difficult card. It's this is the 10 of Wands, right? So it's very weighed down. Oh, there we go. You're going to like these. Look at that. We have sort of quite a saffron background in both of those. These are both wand quartz. They kind of look like they have the same vibe. Like if they're not a couple, they really should be. They should leave like their current partners to set up a happy home together. Because I'm thinking, because these cards have a connection to the Indian subcontinent, we will get a bit of saffron going on here. So yet another quote from the one deck, and here we have the Tower, Thunderbolt, bit of saffron there. Oh, and okay, Rob, sit down. That's going to be a little too much color for you, but bam, the Ace of Wands. Look at that. It's called the Source, and it looks like an eye, or a hole of some description, the eye of the needle. Right. So I think we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I really hope you had a lot of fun. But if you had a lot of fun, I hope I had a lot of fun. Fact. Let me just see any messages that I may have missed. And yeah, I think that's, that's us. How exciting. Yeah, Crystal says these are beautiful cards. Yes, 14 is temperance. Yeah, I do. I get stuck on temperance at the best of times. Temperance is a card I do not understand easily. I can explain it, but I can't relate to it. Whereas the Thoth temperance is obviously art. And then it's like, it's colorful and it's creative and it's very easy for me. But like the Rider-Waite-Smith temperance, I don't get in the water, get out of the water, lady, what are you doing? So that's sort of one of the reasons that I'm not really good with it. But also I think the Thoth major arcana numbering is not exactly the same as others. So obviously I know that sort of 15 is always the devil and 13 is always death. But I do get confused. There we go. Art. Equivalent to temperance, but so much more fun. It's like temperance, when it's gone on a vision quest. Mark says, indeed, it's how the colors are refracted. Kim says, yes, red walls make me sick. My Pisces daughter has red walls, but it took like several paintings because walls don't like red that much. Rob says, nice cards. Yeah, they were for you. Crystal says, I've never seen that with a spinning rainbow. It's going to blow your mind. You have to see it. I told him the story about mixing all the paint together and it will turn black. He remembered and just used the color black. I love that so much. I feel like there's so much potential in a black rainbow. So you're not limiting to just sort of 7 colors. You're going way beyond that. Rob goes, the source, what an intense card. And Rob says, for my sake, I think I had fun. And Lucienne says, it was fun. Thank you. Rob says, lady, what are you doing? And Lucienne says, art card is alchemy. It is literally alchemy. It's so good. Love the temperance card, says Rob. Hate the art card. Lucienne says, I love the art card, and I do too. Thank you, everybody. I had such a lot of fun with you, and I hope to see you either on Thursday when I'll be here with the beautiful Laura Daligan, or this time next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.